Welcome to Lalane. This is my very first video ever, so I'm a little bit nervous to be honest. I'm just gonna give it a go, see what happens. So today I'm going to be attempting to do a 24-hour reading vlog. And yeah, I have to probably preface this just by saying that I will probably go to bed at one point. I've never been one for all-nighters. I don't think I've ever stayed up an entire night. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see how far I get, how long I can stay awake, and then get up again tomorrow morning and continue reading. So I guess I should just run you through the books that I'm planning on reading over the next 24 hours. The first one is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. And I've already started with this book. I am on page 70 at the moment. To be honest, I started reading this book about 2 months ago. Got 70 pages in and then just put it down and stopped. I did enjoy the bit that I read. I guess I just wasn't in the mood to continue at the time. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get to this one maybe today, well, over the next 24 hours, that is. If I do have time to get to this one, I will. Otherwise, I'm gonna save it for when I'm on the road at some point maybe, because this is such a nice compact little size for a book, so it's easy to carry around. And I've got a trip coming up to the Netherlands in a few weeks, so this might be perfect for the train ride there. And then I've also got 2 Sophie Kinsella books which I'm hoping to get to. First one being 20s Girl, and the second one, I've Got Your Number. I've heard lots of great reviews about I've Got Your Number, so I'm really excited to get to this one. I have not heard as many things about 20s Girl, to be honest, but it was in the library and there was not a lot of other books to choose from. So yeah, I picked this one up. Love Sophie Kinsella. Yeah, really excited to get to these 2. I think I'm going to possibly start with 20s Girl, you know, saving the best for last and whatnot. So I'm definitely planning on finishing this during the readathon. Hopefully finish this, or at least get as far as I can into it, and then if I have more time, either read Caraval, or I might potentially pick up an audiobook of some sort. So it is currently 10 minutes to 12. I'm planning on starting at noon. And then, yeah, just going to be plowing through and pushing ahead and getting as far as I can, reading as many words and as many pages as I possibly can. Okay, it's just past 12, which means I'm already late. Off to a great start then. But yeah, okay, let's get reading. So, just a little update. It is currently 2 o'clock and I am on page 100 out of 430 of 20s Girl. I'm really enjoying it so far actually. It took me a few pages to get into it, even though it is a contemporary and it is fairly easy to get into it. I just had to kind of, you know, get my mind used to reading a bit. But yeah, now I'm kind of flying through it a little bit. But I have to say I am a little bit tired. I think it might be the weather. It's really cold and rainy and just grey and miserable outside, which is my favourite weather, hands down. Definitely I love this weather, but it's making me really like, you know. Reading is the best thing to do though on these days, but I kind of feel like watching a movie as well, just not thinking for a bit. But I think I'm gonna go downstairs and have some lunch first. I'm gonna pop on the audiobook of To All the Boys I've Loved Before while I eat. I have read the book already. I read the entire series back in 2015 or 16. I don't remember. Yeah, it was a few years ago. But the movie came out a few months ago and I watched that. And I liked it, and then I was like, you know what? I should read the book again because I really loved the book the first time around, so yeah. don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm just starting the audiobook of To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Well, I started at lunch now, so I'm about half an hour in. And I still love the story. It just brings back so many memories and so much nostalgia, and it's so cute and heartwarming, and I just love it. So I'm gonna make some coffee now, because coffee. It is 10 to 7 and I've made it to page 229 of 20 Skull. I'm really enjoying it so much right now. The story is really picked up and I'm so into it right now. It's so funny, like I'm literally laughing so much, and the characters are funny and relatable, and there's this whole air of mystery, kind of like they're on a treasure hunt trying to find... Okay, well, I'm not going to go into too many spoilers or details. I'll talk about it a bit more tomorrow in like a little wrap-up section of the video. But yeah, I'm really liking this now. I think I'm going to go to have some dinner and listen to a little bit more of the To All the Boys I've Loved Before audiobook while I do that. Just have a little bit of a break from physical reading and then jump back into it. See how far I can get. Yeah, I'm just gonna plow on through. Okay, hello guys. It is currently 8:30. I've just been listening to the audiobook of To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I'm about 3 hours into it now, so I've got like 5 or 6 left. Gosh, that's so much. But I figured I should get back to reading the 20s goal before I get too tired for physical reading. I'm actually really tired already, which is a little bit ridiculous because it's 8:30. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading this for a little while, probably until I get too tired, and then switch back to the audiobook for a little while, and then probably go to bed at some point. So yeah, gonna see how far I can get with this one tonight. Hopefully at least like 100 pages more. I'll be okay with that, I think, and then I can finish it tomorrow morning, and yeah, I guess then I'll see what happens after that. So let's get crackalackin'. I just put on the main light. I forgot I switched it off earlier, so sorry if the last clip was a little bit dark. Do you know what I'm feeling now that I'm listening to the audiobook again of To All the Boys I've Loved Before? I actually prefer Peter Kavinsky in the movie. Like in the book, at least the first book, I don't really remember. I think it got better in the second and third books, but like in the first book he's kind of like Peter, you know? Like in the movie he was kind of this like perfect Prince Charming gentleman guy, and in the book he's like a little bit, you know, like, ooh, I don't know, I guess it's a little bit more realistic of a person. But yeah, that's been bugging me a little bit. But other than that, I'm still loving the story. Laura Jean is honestly just one of the most relatable characters ever. Like, I remember reading the book the first time and just making so many tabs of like, this is me, this is me, this is me. So yeah, it's nice to kind of get back into her head and see how much I still relate to her, and also how much like I've changed a little bit over the past few years, I guess. So yeah, I think I'm just starting to procrastinate now. I should just get reading. Come on, Lana. It is midnight and I just finished. It was beautiful. My heart. And I'm tired. So I'm gonna go to bed for a little while. Hopefully a decent while. And then get up tomorrow morning and continue reading. I did something really bad. I slept until 9:30. It is just past 9:30 now, and I literally just woke up. I'm definitely breaking a lot of rules right now. This is not what is supposed to happen. I was hoping to get up at around 7 and then continue reading until 12. But I'm thinking, I know this is probably not this is not in the rule book, if there is a rule book for a 24-hour readathon. I am breaking a lot of those rules, but I was thinking maybe I could just continue reading until a few hours after 12. I'll still decide until when, but then just add a few hours to the 24 hours, because I failed at getting up this morning. But I'm just going to quickly recap, because I think I said it last night, but I'll just quickly update you guys again. I did end up finishing 20 school, so I think I'm going to quickly go downstairs and have some breakfast while listening to the audiobook, and then at one point I'll probably start with I've Got Your Number. Well, I'm so sorry, I feel like such a failure right now. I don't usually even sleep until this late, but I was just... you see, I was so tired after staying up until 12:30, which is not even that late. Yeah, I'm literally that person that goes to bed at 10 every night. So yeah, anyway, I'm wasting time now. I'm gonna start reading. Currently 12:09, which is technically when I was supposed to be stopping, but you know, we all know how that turned out. I spent the morning listening to the audiobook while I had breakfast and got ready, got dressed, all of that jazz, and then I started reading I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella. I'm currently on page 73, and yes, I'm not that far into it, but I think I might like it even more than 20 School already. It is really just, it's funny and it's great. It just goes by a bit quicker. Like I find myself really reading it fast because I'm like, what? But yeah, so I'm going to continue reading this for a while. I'm halfway through the audiobook of All the Boys I've Loved Before. I don't think I'm going to finish that because I still got like 4 hours left, which is a lot. I think I'm just going to stick to this for a while. It is 3 o'clock at the moment. I am 140 pages into I've Got Your Number out of 380, and then On the audiobook, I've got about 2.5 hours left. I'm thinking I'm really in need of some fresh air, so I've decided I'm gonna go out for a walk in the park for a little while, just to, you know, clear my head, feel a bit refreshed, come back and read some more or listen maybe. Yeah, I've already broken so many rules, so I mean, I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I've counted up the hours that I've actually been reading, not counting my sleeping break, and it's more than that now. It's 18 hours. So I've got 6 hours left. Then I've got like a full 24 hours, even though it's not been consecutive. That's alright. So yeah, I'm gonna take a break, go for a walk in the park. I might listen to the audiobook while I'm walking, and yeah, come back and jump back into this because I'm really loving this book so much. I definitely prefer it to 20 School. But yeah, I'll talk about this a bit more when I wrap everything up later. So yeah, I'm gonna try to maybe film a little bit while I'm walking, but I will probably do it on my phone, so just know that the quality is not gonna be as great. I'm gonna try to make it as, like, not shaky as possible, but yeah, we will see. So come along and let's go walk. It's good for the health, we should do it. Okay, I just got back from the walk and I'm a bit windswept and cold in the cheeks, but it was lovely. It was so peaceful. There was almost no one else in the park, so I got to walk around with my headphones in and listen to like the cutest. I'm at the best parts now. They're at the ski lodge, and it was this whole Christmas season with putting up the Christmas tree and baking cookies and just all the nice cozy family things, and I love this story so much. So yeah, I got to chapter 64 out of 72, I believe. So I think I've got about an hour left. Audiobook is going to take first priority, I think, because I really want to finish something else. And then if I've got time left, I'm going to continue with I've Got Your Number. I forgot to mention, it's 5 p.m. at the moment, which means we are on hour 20, which also means I've got 4 hours left to get through as much as I possibly can. But I think I'm gonna go take a shower now, put on my pajamas, just get all comfortable and cozy, and then, yeah, continue. I finally finished the audiobook. It is 6:15. And I'm all done with the audiobook. Feels so great to finally have 2 books done. So yeah, I've only got a few hours left now. I'm gonna spend it just reading the last book on my TBR. I'm not in a rush, to be honest. I think I'm just gonna just gonna enjoy it. I'll see how far I get, but I'm not. If I don't finish, I don't finish. If I do finish, it'll be fantastic. But yeah, I'm in no rush, and yeah. currently the next morning. I'm sorry that I didn't end up filming a wrap-up section last night when I finished, but I was a bit too tired because the last clip I showed you, it was 9 p.m, but I ended up reading until about 10:30, 10:45. I'm sorry, I know I should have stopped probably after 24 hours. But what ended up happening was around 7 or 8, I stopped reading for a little while to help my little sister with her chemistry homework. And then when it was 9, I was like, I'm just going to read for like half an hour more just to make up the lost time and for like accuracy and correctness and to make up the full 24 hours or whatever. And then, I was near the end of the book and everything was happening all at once. It was so exciting and I couldn't put it down. I just had to finish. So I finished and I stopped then at, 10:30, 10:45. So yeah, I did end up reading a little bit more than 24 hours. Not consecutively, of course, because I did end up going to sleep for a long time. We're not going to mention that. I guess I should just kind of run through the books that I did end up reading and give a little wrap up of the 24-hour readathon. So yeah, I'm gonna do that now. I didn't actually end up getting to Caravel, but I'm not too bothered about it, to be honest. I wasn't really thinking that I was going to do it. I just thought this would be a good idea for a backup plan in case maybe I wasn't feeling like reading any of the other books, or I ended up finishing them all and I still had time left, which was thankfully not necessary. So yeah, I'm hoping to get to this book pretty soon. I've heard really good things about it, so I will definitely get to it at one point. The first book that I did end up finishing though was 20's Girl by Sophie Kinsella, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This book was so funny. I literally laughed so much, like laughing out loud, where I was like, did anyone hear that? And I wasn't really expecting it to be this funny. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one so much. This story is about a girl named Laura, and she lives in London. She is in her late 20s, but it seems like her whole life is just falling apart completely. She has a business with her best friend that is just not going great at all. She just got dumped by her boyfriend. Her best friend has run off to some island and has left her all alone to kind of, with the business, and she's struggling, she doesn't know what to do. And then she is forced to go to the funeral of a great aunt Sadie of hers that she has never met before. And at this funeral, she is visited by the ghost of this lady, and Sadie demands that she finds and tracks down this very important necklace of Sadie's that is apparently a matter of life and death for her, because she can't move on or go to the afterlife or whatever if she can't find it. And so Sadie and Laura go on this adventure, this treasure hunt, to try and track down this necklace, and it takes them to all over the place, and things happen and there's a bit of a romance. It doesn't take center stage though. This story is really more about family and friendship and girl power, We see these two women get to know one another and grow closer, and yet they face a bunch of ups and downs, and they fight and they get in each other's hair, and we have Sadie and Laura are two completely different women. Sadie is from the 20s, she's this flapper girl, kind of Charleston dancer, and she's just rebellious and confident and really just all over the place and does whatever she wants, whenever she wants to, not really thinking about the consequences. And Laura is more this modern girl, it doesn't always work out. But then over the course of the book, these two women really get to know each other, and they really grow closer to one another, and we see them helping one another out and standing up for one another and really trying to support one another. We see Sadie trying to help out Laura with her business, and Laura really putting everything on hold really to find this necklace, and going so far out of her comfort zone for Sadie. And it's really beautiful. I would highly recommend this book if you are looking for something light, something funny and cute, but also something that has a little bit more depth to it, because this book really Like by the end of it, I was so emotional. Like I wasn't crying, but I was so emotional, and I grew so attached to these two characters, and I just wanted them to be happy and for everything to be fine for them. So yeah, this book was really, really good. I really liked this one. So the reason I didn't give this 5 out of 5 stars is just because I found the beginning to be a little bit slow for me, but I think that might have just been a personal thing. Maybe I just like wasn't really in the mood yet, or I was just getting used to it. But I really kind of struggled a little bit in the beginning to get into the story, so that kind of, you know, took my enjoyment level of it down a little bit. But yeah, I think maybe that might have just been me. Who knows? So the second book that I finished was the audiobook of To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I mean, everyone probably knows what this is about by now. You've either seen the movie or read the book, or done both probably. This was actually my first audiobook ever. I was actually not planning on using an audiobook during the readathon, but I quickly realized that I was going to lose so much time if I was eating, like brushing my teeth, doing my hair, doing like chores, the things that actually you need to do to survive, while, you know, and not being able to read a physical book. So I decided I should probably get on that, and it ended up being so helpful. Yeah, so I definitely saved a lot of time doing that, which I'm very grateful for. I gave it obviously 5 out of 5 stars. I love the story so much. It feels like coming home to me now. It's only the second time that I'm reading it, but I feel like I know the story and I know the characters, and I mean, what else is there to say about it? Everyone knows it, everyone loves it, so yeah. And the last book that I got to during the readathon was I've Got Your Number by Miss Sophie Kinsella as well. I definitely consider myself to be a big fan of her books now. I love her writing style, I love her sense of humor, I love the characters that she creates. They're just very relatable, I find. And this one I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it a little bit more than 20 Skull, maybe because I just got into it a little bit faster, or it's a little bit shorter as well than 20 Skull. But yeah, I highly, highly, highly enjoyed this one. This story follows a woman named Poppy. She is engaged to a university lecturer, professor type of person named Magnus. And his whole family, they're all kind of like really academic people, like they write essays and academic journals or books or things, you know. And Poppy is a physiotherapist, so she kind of always feels very inferior, like intellectually, to that whole family, and she feels like she doesn't quite fit in with her new, you know, the almost in-laws. So Magnus gives Poppy this very old, very valuable family heirloom as an engagement ring, and she ends up losing this somewhere, like in a hotel at a party or something, and she is just freaking out because how is she going to tell the family and Magnus, and what is she going to do? And she's searching for it, but she can't find it. And in the chaos of everything, she also loses her phone, which is probably the worst thing that can happen to a person in the 21st century, because her whole life is on the phone. All her messages, all her planning, everything is lost now. And so she then finds, like miraculously, this phone in the bin in the lobby, and she decides to keep it because she is desperately in need of a phone, basically. And then it turns out that this phone is actually the business phone of Sam, who is like, you know, a business person in some very important company, and he is not happy with the fact that she just stole his business phone, because now she has access to all of his emails and his messages, and she has all of these business intel, and that just, you know, is not a good thing for him. But he does eventually agree to let her keep it if she kind of is like the middleman between the people who wants to contact him and him. You're basically like a personal assistant, you know? So Poppy now has to sit with the dilemma of trying to find the engagement ring before the in-laws arrive back from America, and, you know, trying to distract everyone from the fact that she's not wearing an engagement ring. And she kind of ends up talking to Sam over the phone, and they text and they email and they get to know one another, and, you know, things go from there. So yeah, this definitely would recommend this book. This is really, I mean, I've heard really good things about this already on BookTube, so I definitely recommend that you pick this up if it sounds like something that you're interested in. It really is so funny, and just, charming and hilarious, and definitely read this one. So yeah, those were all the books that I read during the readathon. This did end up being literally all over the place and very confusing and just and I mean I slept and I just made up my own rules and I just kind of, you know, but whatever. I'm actually really happy with how my reading went over the past few days. I can't believe I actually finished everything that was like well, except for Caravel, but I can't believe that I actually ended up finishing 3 books. That must be some type of record for me. I think I'll put a page count up somewhere if I can figure out how to do this, because I still need to figure out how to edit as well before this can go up. But yeah, I really had so much fun doing this. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll get to see you very soon again. Goodbye!